Defending your limitations. This is what I want to talk about today. And it is one of those things that I think we all get into, and we don't even realize that we are the ones defending all the limitations that we believe are standing in the way of transitioning to the life we want to, transitioning to the job we want to, transitioning to having whatever we want to. We justify and defend religiously in some of the cases to show not only to ourselves, not only to prove to ourselves, but to everyone else around us how whatever we desire cannot be done. Right? Whatever we desire can't be achieved. That is what defending your limitations looks like. And after this live, I will also put some of the examples so you can see for yourself how those examples can look like, right? Oftentimes, I talk to humanitarians about whatever the desires they want to transition to, right? Whether it is at a high level job in the private sector, whether it is making millions, whether it is transitioning back home, whether it is to start dating, whether it is to get promotion within the humanitarian sector, right? Whatever the desires we talk about, then they come up with all the reasons, all the valid sounding limitations as to how it is not possible. Right? You probably have gone through that yourself. I have gone through that myself millions of times, where I keep arguing how my limitations should be winning and how I can't get to what I want, right? And oftentimes I have also been in a very victim mood where poor me, I can't do the things that I want to. I don't have the skills, or I haven't graduated from the Ivy League, or I'm not from this country, whatever it is that I find and I like latch myself on so that I keep proving to myself that these are the limitations because of which I can't transition to what I want, right? This is how defending your limitations looks like. And the crazy part is, we are the ones saying this is what we want, right? It's not like someone else is saying, well, Estelle, this is what you should want in life. And if you can't get it, then you should really feel bad about your life. That's not like, no one is saying it. It's me saying it, right? It's me saying, this is the life that I want to live. And I'm also defending, here are all the reasons why I can't be the person who can make that dream happen, right? And for other people, the defending limitation can look even subtler that they don't even recognize, right? The subtle ways to do that would be to say, I don't have confidence, or to say, I have always never received support from my loved ones, therefore I can't do that. Or I'm just like this. I'm this type of person who can never change. Or to say that, yes, I always have motivation issues, or I never know how to follow through all the way, right? All of this, beside I can't do this, or it is hard, it is difficult, I've never done this before, beside these defending limitations, we also defend our limitations in the form of, we make it an identity, right? We make it like, this is who I am and how I am, and I can't be changed. We were also discussing this with this morning with my husband, where he was saying that a French philosopher once, like in the past, was saying that he went to the mountain and he fell, and he was, he was then brought to the hospital, and his friend said, well, you should come with another guide in the future so that if you fall, someone is there to take care of him. And he was like, no, I am this type of person, I would never go with a guide, right? For instance. And I was discussing with my husband as to, well, it seems like he has chosen to not go to the mountain alone, but it doesn't mean that it's a character trait that can't be changed, right? So it's the same thing that with the with defending our limitations is we're making it such an identity or personality trait that can't be changed. Therefore, we need to be suffering and struggling and not really getting to what we want, and then feeling victim of our own lives, and then feel like staying in the situations we don't want to, and having like feeling all of the things or blaming everyone else, whatever the situation that we get ourselves, because we are defending our own limitations. And as crazy as it sounds, this is really how self sabotage looks like, right? That we are not even aware that's what we're doing. And there are also a lot of, I think, shows on TV that you can even find, especially around entrepreneurial journey. I have seen a lot of entrepreneurs, the ones that I have also coached myself, where we say this is the outcome we want, and then we come up with all the reasons why it won't work. Right? And as I said, I have been guilty of this all the time, and I continue doing it and noticing for myself. But I thought if we are able to pinpoint and say, you are defending the limitations. In other words, you're advocating for the limitations instead of advocating for how you're going to make that happen. Once you start noticing this for yourself, then maybe you will be able to do something about it. Right? And that's really the goal that I want to make, is that obviously we understand and know by now why we do that, right? Because it feels very uncomfortable to go to the unknown territory. We know this from evolution. We know this from physiology, that our brain always wants to protect us from going to the unknown. And that is, excuse me, something that we all go through this. But the part that I think many people don't know or don't understand is that if they are the ones saying this is what I want, and they are the also ones saying here is why it won't work, here is why it can't happen, here is why I can't make this work, then obviously it's not going to work. Right? I think this like two contradictions that we're making about our own desires that we're not recognizing. I haven't recognized for a long time as well, until a lot of my coaches told me, well, it's really up to you. If you say this is what you want to do, or this is what you want to have in life, and here is how you stand in your own way, obviously you will not have the thing. So either you have the thing and keep working, solving everything, or you don't have the thing and keep defending your limitations, right? And that's how I got to know about all the limitations that I keep defending, and then realizing, why am I doing this to myself? Like, beside it feeling safe and easier that way, right? I have battled with this. It is hard, and I've never done this before. And poor me, I have battled with all of these limitations for a long time. But then here is the realization I've come to, is I can't do both at the same time, right? So I can't be saying I want this life or this job or this thing and keep defending my limitations. So I need to choose one or the other, essentially, right? And I think oftentimes people don't believe that they can choose, and because they don't believe and they can't observe themselves doing this to themselves, they also can't then say, oh, yes, either I keep defending my limitations or I keep solving the limitations and go for the thing. So it can't be like, it can't be both, essentially. Because if we keep doing both, what we really end up happening is we get good at probably defending our limitations, because it is very comfortable to keep saying, oh, here are all the reasons why I can't do that thing. Here are all the reasons why I'm not equipped. Here are all the reasons why I don't know. Here is all the reasons why I'm confused. It is comfortable to keep coming to that conclusion, but the consequence of that conclusion is very uncomfortable, right? And we know this, I don't even need to tell you that. Consequence of keep saying I can't do the XYZ is staying in where you don't want to. Keep solving the limitations, knowing and recognizing this is what we're doing to ourselves and we don't want to do this to ourselves, is getting us somewhere. Now, I'm not saying that will not be uncomfortable. It will also be uncomfortable. But at least we are recognizing that, okay, either we're defending our limitations or we're going for the thing that we want, at least giving ourselves a full chance of getting there. And the goal that I really want to pursue here is you learning to recognize this for yourself, right? You learning to recognize this for yourself as you observe your own reasoning as to why you can't have the XYZ thing that you want in life. As you observe your own reasoning, then you also observe your defending of your reasoning, which is you believe is a limitation. And as you defend your limitations, then you can start looking at why are you doing that to yourself, right? So if you say I can't do this, I can't transition to the job that I want in the private sector, I can't replicate my yuan P3 salary or whichever salary because da 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 da, all of those because and then whatever comes after is you defending those limitations. And once you start seeing this, then it becomes clearer for you to say, is that how you keep going or not? Right? And maybe if you've calculated and you've decided, no, this is how I keep going, that's also an option to go for. But at least this will eliminate a lot of this inner battles as to I would like to, but I can't have it, kind of the battle that just keeps eating us alive inside, right? Like, I remember coaching one of my clients where she was so battling inside about not wanting to stay in that UN job and at the same time telling herself that she can't go and do the other thing that she wanted, right? And that battle is so harsh that it becomes so unbearable to keep experiencing it on daily basis, and especially for years, right? So some people have thought about this and have struggled about it for years. But I'm hoping that if you recognize within yourself that that battle is happening because of either you are defending your limitations, not knowing unconsciously, right? And therefore you keep reinforcing how you can do XYZ, or you are defending your desires and goals and you are finding ways to solve those limitations, which we all have as we go through this transitioning. And we need to choose one route or the other and having peace with it. And that peace at least will help us to no longer eat ourselves inside and at least choose and stand by that choice. Even if it feels very uncomfortable, at least we have made our peace with that choice. Right? So that's really my hope, is by you recognizing that you are the one defending your limitations, you are the one also able to solve them if you chose to. And the story about how you can't, all the other people maybe, but not you, is a lie. Because that lie feels comfortable. And I have been in that lie, and I'm sure you can relate to that lie yourself as well. And especially when I coach my clients, I always tell them, you are the one who is imposing to yourself that you don't have the confidence, you don't have the skills, you don't have the ability to sell your expertise. at 200K level in the private sector, for instance, you are also the person who can solve that and learn the skill and go and do that in the private sector. And keep telling ourselves that I am this person and I can't be changed and here I am and that's it, is a choice we're making. And if it feels triggering for you, I feel you. I also want you to ask yourself why. Because learning and recognizing how much we defend our limitations is a very bitter pill to swallow, right? Because learning how we are the ones standing in our own ways. Of course, the circumstances are not helping us. I hear you. But also, if we keep feeling victim to our circumstances, we'll struggle a lot more. We suffer a lot more. Then we decide what to do about it. And what can we do about it, right? And that's where you come in and start looking at, okay, whatever the circumstance, here are the things that I would like, and am I willing to go for them? If the answer is yes, then what are the limitations I have been defending? And now let me look at why have I been defending? And most importantly, what am I going to do about them? Are the honest conversations you need to have with yourself or with a coach, with me, and start making decisions. And of course, you can be gentle along the process, self-compassionate for sure. But at the same time, the goal that I want to pursue is how to remove that battle that has been going on for a long time. And in part because of how good we have gotten to defend our limitations. Okay, majors, if you'd like to work on this, come coach with me. You can also join my group for transitioning humanitarians to the private sector. I just wanted to bring to your awareness in case this is what you're doing, and being aware and deciding on what to do next and choosing and standing by that choice is where to go next. Have a beautiful week.